Hi everyone, it's another weekend, another beautiful day to stay at home and do more chores. So last week, I uploaded a video talking about how I kind of feel jealous of other people's success, especially when it comes to how they seem to succeed rather quickly on YouTube. Do you ever feel like you are the only person you know that is unsuccessful? It feels like you are the most unsuccessful person that you know. Everybody else around you is kind of doing better. A random someone on the internet, not a super mega rich person, like just an average person like you, also seem to do a lot better than you do. I have that feeling constantly, like all the time. Sometimes when you see like a random video where they don't even have a title, not a well-designed thumbnail, and they do better than you. I'm not saying that we are entitled to people's attention and watch time just because we put in a lot of effort. As a matter of fact, I understand that the views a video gets is entirely dependent on how much value audience find in the video. And maybe we put in a lot of effort, but the value that we provide to viewers are just not really what they were looking for. Anyway, whatever the reason, I know that it is demoralizing sometimes. I feel it constantly. So today I want to talk about something that helped me a lot when I feel discouraged, when I procrastinate, when I feel like a failure, which is my belief as an unsuccessful person, the belief that have kept me going even when things aren't exactly how I want them to be. And this belief might also inspire some of you that are experiencing the same situation. So let's do chore together and talk about them. I have just bought this very big kitchen shelf. Let's unpack. So, one of the first beliefs that have kept me going, even in rainy days, is the belief that slow progress is still progress. I think it's really easy to fall into the trap of negativity when things aren't moving as quickly as we would like them to. However, every small step forward is a progress that propels you towards your goal. So when I feel unproductive or when I procrastinate and I feel really bad about it, I remind myself that these moments are part of the journey and that I'm getting closer to where I want to be. So, like I said, slow progress is still progress, and at the end of the day, it's a win. It's when there is no progress that I need to take things more serious. My second belief is that making an effort is a success in itself. When you first start something like a YouTube channel, a blog, or an online shop, often in times it's your fear and your self-doubt that hold you back the most, along with financial limitations, of course. So when I see someone who take that leap of faith and just start what they want, put in their best effort, to me, that is a success. And you should give yourself more credit for trying, especially when you don't know if something will work out or not. On the other hand, I think there's nothing wrong with playing it safe. Some people just don't like taking risks. I am one of those people. I am very much risk averse, but every now and then I remind myself that it might not work out, but if I don't try, it certainly never will. The third belief that I have is the belief that I can, even when reality offers little proof. So this might sound a little bit full of myself, but somehow I have always believed that I will make it one day. I don't graduate from top schools like Yale or Harvard, and I don't come from a wealthy family. But somehow I still hold that belief. I think it's because deep down inside, I know that those are the conditions that I like, but those are the things that I can do nothing about. But there is one thing that I can control, which is my own belief. Others may call it delusion, but for me, it's the one thing that I can hold on to. And I choose to believe that I will make it one day because the opposite never works. My next belief is that self-criticism is not a sustainable way to grow. We've all been there, beating ourselves up for the mistakes or the shortcomings that we have, thinking that if we are hard enough on ourselves, then maybe we will do better next time. However, in reality, this approach rarely leads to growth. I believe that speaking to yourself gently, being supportive and kind to yourself is a much more effective way. It shifts your mindset from defeat to possibility. It's like you are being your best friend. You need to cheer yourself on when things get tough because that's how friends are, and you should be the best friend to yourself. Yes, so I think growth happens the most in an environment of support, not self-punishment. My next belief is not really like a belief, it's more like a tips or like something that I do when I don't want to do something. I think all of us have a long list of things that we always tell ourselves that we need to get to those things one day. But the reality is we rarely do. Sometimes we procrastinate on those things for months. I don't know about you, but I do that. I have realized that to actually get to do the work, it's not about forcing myself to do it, because that kind of tactic never works for me. If I force myself, maybe it works just this time, but it's not a sustainable way. The best way for me to get myself to do something is actually to make the work itself fun and easier to handle. When something feels too overwhelming or is a big task, I tend to break them down into smaller subtasks. Sometimes I break the big task into like very, very small tasks. Like I hate script writing, so when I don't want to do the writing, I tell myself just type in the title and then you can just leave the page blank. It's fine. That's what I tell myself when I don't want to do things. And usually things will start rolling from there. But if I don't break it down into smaller tasks, then I will probably never do anything. I procrastinate so hard on so many things, you have no idea. And it also gives you like the satisfaction of accomplishing something because you can just tick off those small tasks, and it's kind of like recording your own small victories of the day. So my next belief might sound a little bit unusual. Basically, I believe that you are just a tiny individual in this big infinity universe. A while ago, I read a romance story where one of the main characters said that I am as small as a particle in this infinite universe, the effect of whatever I do on this world is very limited. I'm sorry if this quote sounds a bit weird. The story wasn't in English, so I kind of have to translate the quote into English. So when I want to do something, but I'm unsure of it, I always think of what he says. And I feel the burden of responsibility kind of just get lifted off my shoulder. Yeah, I'm just a tiny, small individual. Whatever I do, the effect is very limited. I shouldn't worry too much about doing what I want to do. At the end of the day, if I am willing to take responsibility for whatever happens to my life, I should just feel free to do what I am willing to take responsible for. My next belief, I think the people without direction in life might be the loneliest. Of all the things that make me happy, having a goal and working toward it is probably in my top 5. Sometimes when I see people unhappy, I recognize a common theme, which is the loss of direction in life, not knowing where they are going to. I don't claim to know where I should go or which direction is the right direction. I think that the people who always know exactly where they want to go or what they want to be in life are really admirable. I've never been so fortunate. I've always been figuring it out along the way. I think that even a wrong direction is still a direction. It's not ideal, of course, and you should always turn back as soon as you find out that you are on the wrong direction. However, I think that inactivity makes people even more unhappy than going to the wrong direction, because not making any progress, not doing anything, make you feel bored, empty, and useless. You feel like you are wasting your life. That is a terrible feeling to have. My next belief is that we all struggle together. I think that it's really easy for us to feel isolated when we are struggling, forgetting that a lot of people are probably also going through similar experiences. I know that a lot of you, me included, are just trying to make ends meet. This is a shared human experience. It reminds me that I'm not alone in this. And there is a sense of solidarity in knowing that other people are also just trying to get through life the best that they know how. You and I don't know if tomorrow will be better, but at least we have tomorrow to try again. My next belief is that things will work out the way they are meant to. Sometimes when I feel anxious or I feel overwhelmed about my future, I just choose to have faith in the universe. I'm not a religious person, but the belief that the universe wants the best for me has saved me from so much stress. This is not about being passive. It's about releasing the need to control every outcome. What this belief has done for me is to allow me focus on the present instead of worrying about the future outcome. I can be fully focused on whatever I am doing and not worried too much about how it's gonna come out. Your job is to make sure that you has put your effort into it and not giving up. My next belief is that poorly done is better than not done at all. Obviously, it really depends on the context. Sometimes poorly done is not exactly better, but in this context of trying to work towards our goal, doing something poorly means that you are doing something, and it's a lot better than not doing anything. That's why sometimes I tell myself to just do it poorly. It's fine. At least I am doing something. finally we get to the last one. Trust yourself. Trust that you can count on yourself. This is a bit different. Usually when people say trust yourself, they mean trust that you can do it. Obviously, that's important, but what I am talking about is the fact that you should trust that you can count on yourself when things go south. Trust that you can take care of yourself no matter what happens. And I think this belief is really important. Nowadays, when you want to do something that might potentially give you long-term reward, you will have to do things that will require a lot of time, effort, money. Those things are risks that you take. There will be a lot of fear, self-doubt when you start this journey. It makes you feel uncertain, uneasy. But if you can trust that even if the worst happens, you have yourself, things will be fine. You know you'll survive and you can count on yourself. Of all the belief that you hold in this world, the belief that you can count on yourself, that you can take care of yourself no matter what happens, to me is a backbone of all others. That's the end of my list. All of these beliefs is just to remind myself and hopefully some of you that success is not about how fast you go, but about finding the strength to keep going no matter what. I'd love to hear about your own beliefs that have kept you going. So feel free to drop a comment below and let me know. Thank you for watching and until next time.